But let's get the second question from KJ here, and then we'll read a couple super chats. We'll call it a night.
No worries. So KJ wants to know, what is the best way for someone who's just getting into politics to catch up with what's going on? So, for example, someone who just found out that the BLM founders used the majority of the donations that they received to buy multiple mansions. I don't think there's a one-stop shop kind of website that succinctly lays out every fraudulent narrative ever pushed by the mainstream media. I've only been following politics semi-closely for a couple of years now and still feel like there's so much more to get caught up on, like, for example, when Blonde mentioned the USS Liberty. Keep up the good work, man.
Well, thank you, KJ. Definitely agree that there is no one source that you can just point people to and say, hey, you want to have your mind opened? You want to be awakened? Go check this out. That's not a thing that exists, even though I wish I had that easy thing for you, but you recognize that that doesn't really exist. I would say if you're interested in changing minds, the best way to do that is to change the minds of your friends and family, because those are the people on whom you have the most influence. So really, like, who opens up minds, who changes minds, who awakens people? It's you with the circle of people in your life. And I will, it happened to me personally. The people who changed my mind and opened me to new concepts, I mean, a lot of them are people I met on the internet, but you know, they're friends. They're not, it's not like someone just coming and yelling at me and lecturing me and telling me to read this article or watch that video. They're people who came to me with an honest perspective and the Socratic method, wanting to know, again, this is former like reliable Democrat voter, former progressive me, and just honest questions about, oh, that's interesting. You support policy A or policy B. Why? For what reason do you support that? For what reason do you think that's a good idea? This isn't about owning them or getting them or trapping them or any of that. It's about trying to understand the reasons why people hold the positions that they do. And when you ask people that sort of question honestly, eventually you'll get down to first principles. Like, I support policy A because of first principle B. For people like me, former progressive me, when people question me to get down to those first principles, and I really realize that those first principles that I hold don't necessarily align with the policy positions that I tend to vote for, that I tend to view as good, well, then the gears get spinning in my head and I realize, like, I have looked at this issue the wrong way for years. That's what you want to do if you're interested in changing minds. It's not like point someone to this article or that video. It's have the sort of good faith conversation that gets people's gears spinning. I've watched it happen myself with friends on things like gun rights. You know, like friends will want to debate me on something they disagree, something like that. And I'm not trying to own them. I'm not trying to like dunk on them. It's just, okay, you think A, B, and C, why? And, you know, would your perspective change if instead it could be shown that this is true or that is true? It's not about owning. It's not about winning in the moment. Like I said, you'll find that even if you don't, when you change a person's mind, very rarely do they say, you know, you just changed my mind. You're right. What happens is they kind of try to debate you and they realize that they're inconsistent in their views or that they don't know as much as they thought they did. They don't tell you, oh, you just defeated me and you changed my mind. They go home and they think about it. And maybe they'll text you later like, hey, you said this. Where can I learn more about that? Or, you know, you mentioned this. Do you have any more information about that? That's what I would say. I know that that's a lot more difficult than like, oh, just send them to like changeyourmind.com. But you want to make a difference. You want to change minds. That's how you do it. You be that agent of mind changing in your own circle. And you do it with honestly asking questions and just having good faith discussions with people until they realize, as I did several years ago, a lot of my opinions don't make sense. I haven't thought this through. And that guy seems to have a much more thoughtful, thorough perspective on it. So maybe he's right. That's how that sort of thing happens. So good luck and Godspeed, KJ. And once I tell you what, I will work on building the one-stop shop as quickly as I can. But appreciate your help with this show in the meantime. Tim, you had a thought?
Can I sound like a bit of a suck up for a little bit?
Oh, if you plan to kiss my ass? Go, by all means.
Admittedly, some of your older videos from maybe about 2016, it seems like maybe you changed after the 2016 election. I don't know. Some of those were a bit more fun and a bit more responding to crazy, Vox videos and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch Matt's videos over the last couple of years, I know it's something that people really appreciate about him, because I have been reading the chats leading up to you starting at Tenet, is that you break things down. You won't just say, this is why it's stupid, this is why it's dumb. You'll try to provide data. You'll try to break things down. You'll try to give information that people could take and then basically follow to look at, statistics on trans people getting murdered or gun laws or things like that. So probably go do a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Do a bit of a binge on some of Matt's videos. Just kind of work your way backwards maybe and have a look at his, because it is something. And I know it sounds like a suck up thing to the boss, but it is one thing with you that I know a lot of people state they appreciate is you will break things down. You won't just give an opinion. You will try to back it up with some data and try to look at things. So.
Well, thank you for the kind words.
We love you. You're very special.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a reason why I choose to make the content the way I do. And it's to, even though I hold an opinion, and I hope that people would agree with me, I want people to see the thought process that goes behind the formation of it, of course. And thank you for that. But don't go watch my old material. It's absolute trash. Unlike, today's material, which is excellent and perfect quality, except for when I forget to unmute my mic to start the show. And except for when the show, quits early. Let's get a couple super chats before we're done for the night.
Yeah, so I got